Dear students, I welcome you all to this video on how to write a review writing. Hope all of you have chosen the topic I had asked you to do. We will now see step by step as in how to write a review for this particular assignment. Step 1. Now you have chosen a topic. You have either chosen a film, you have either chosen a short story, you have either chosen a novel or a novella or an essay or a poem. So, whatever it may be, you need not read the complete text only if it is a novel or a play. Otherwise, if the poem is longer than 200 to 300 lines, or more than 200 lines, you need not read it. Unless it is a poem which is less than 200 lines, or a short story, or a novella. Sometimes novella can also be more than 50 pages. In that case, you might skip on reading the novella. Other than that, you are expected to watch the film if you have chosen a film, read the short story if you have chosen the short story, read the essay that has been given to you, or read the poem that has been given to you. Only students who have chosen a play or or a short story which is more than 50 pages, or a poem which has more than 200 lines, right? So these are the people who may be allowed to read materials instead of reading the original work. Please rewatch the video for clarity. Other students are expected to read the original work. Now this first step is only for students who are not expected to read the original work. Other students read the original work but then follow step 1 also. Now what is first step? The first step is to collect materials. Now what do I mean by materials? You have chosen the topic. It could be a film, a play, a short story, a novel, a novella, a poem, or a prose essay. Now whatever that is, you know what to do. That is, you would straight away type it on Google, or you would type it on .coms like Jester. You would type it on any other website where you could find internet materials, or even poetryfoundation.com. There are many websites, external websites which cater to the needs of collecting your materials. Now, this is what I mean materials, where you find secondary sources to the topic you have chosen, not the direct source. Let's say you have chosen a poem called Beowulf, right? Beowulf has 3000 lines, right? So, but then that is one of the reasons why I have given it in the film category, not in the poem category. But then, if you think you have chosen the topic Beowulf for an example, it's an imaginary example, right? So you could type Beowulf in Google. There are many materials that are available on the internet. If you have to go to the library which is nearby your house, go to the library, find any materials you could find on Beowulf. And at this point of time, I think going for internet materials would do you good. So collect these materials. Now when you collect these materials, go through these collected materials, prepare a separate document in your phone or laptop, using Google Docs or Microsoft Word document, and type in the author, the person who has written that article, secondary article you have chosen, and the title of that article you have collected, right, which is on the topic you have chosen. You get the point? Let me repeat it to you once again. You will be you have already selected a topic, let's say Beowulf, for an example, imaginary example. Now if you go to the website, you would find the original text also, but then when I call it materials, I am talking about secondary materials. Now the secondary materials are articles written on Beowulf, not exactly Beowulf. So that's the point I am making here, right? So these articles that are written on the work Beowulf will have an author first, and will have an article title, right? I want all of you to prepare a separate document after you have collected these materials, and then list them one after the other, especially put the number 1, and then write collected materials on the top, which is the title of this document. 1, put the title of the secondary material you have collected, and then with the after a hyphen write down the author who has written that particular article you are checking, or you have already collected. Now after you have collected, read those materials you have collected. So let's say you could go for a maximum of 10 materials, not less than 10 materials, right? Go for a maximum of 10 materials, or at least 10 materials. If you think probably, let's not go for a maximum limit. If you want to go beyond 10 materials, you can go for 10 materials, but then do not do less than 10 materials. That is an advice I am giving you. Marks will be reduced if you are going for less than 10 materials, right? So after you have collected these materials, start reading the individual article you have collected, right? So you are expected to read materials related to your topics very, very, very thoroughly, right? Now it is always better to read the materials you have collected more than once and take notes. All right, take notes like you do for a normal classroom. That is the first step. Let's move on to the second step. In step 2, after you have finished reading all the materials more than once, and then now you have an idea, you could divide your review writing assignment into 3 parts. Now the first part is introduction, second part is review, and third part is conclusion. Now you can give titles to the assignment itself, subtitles, right? You can give an actual title to the assignment itself, or you might simply call it review writing hyphen whatever topic you have chosen. The topic of the topic of the short story, novel, novella, poem, play, prose essay, film, whatever it is, right? So review writing hyphen the topic you have chosen. That could be the title. Now the assignment you write will have subtitles, and that is what I mean, the parts, right? Divide the assignment into 3 parts. Let me repeat, the 3 parts are introduction, review, and conclusion. Now this is how we are going to move ahead in this video lecture. I would be explaining each and every part of it in detail. All right, so we will move on to the third step. In step number 3, you will be writing first the introduction of your review writing assignment. In the review writing assignment, I expect you to not exceed more than 75 words. Your introduction should only be 75 words. Now, what should the introduction contain? Let's say you are watching a film, or reading a poem, a short story, or a novel, or reading materials of a novel, or reading materials of a novella or a play, or even going through a prose essay, whatever that is. You will write the main content, or the important content of the particular topic you have been reading, or the plot, right? So when do we use the term plot? When do we use the content? Of course, a story will also have a content, but then I'm using the word content with regards only to an essay, right? So when it comes to a short story, when it comes to a poem, when it comes to a novel, when it comes to a film or a novella, we use the term plot, right? Now what is the plot? Plot is nothing but the important events of the story that is written in a chronological order from A to Z, in the order which it happens, right? Sometimes last scene comes first, some of the scenes have flashback, that and all is fine, but then I want you to write in the introduction the plot of the short story, film, novel, novella, play, or a poem you have chosen, or write the important content of the essay you have chosen, right? So people who are not reading the original work, you could understand it from the secondary materials. See, that is why I have asked you to go for 10 materials at least, 10 secondary materials at least. So if you read 10 materials, you would at least get the plot of that story or the important content of the essay, right? So that is what you should be having in your introduction. Now apart from the introduction, none of your review, right? None of your review assignment parts should contain the plot or the story. I will reduce marks if you do that. I don't want the plot or important content of the essay in any other part rather than in the introduction. So you will get much more clarity when we go on to the next step. Let us move on to the next step. Now the second part of your assignment should be the review, and this is the most important part of your assignment. This is where you will be hardworking. Right now, the introduction is just a trailer of what's going to happen after, but then the review is going to be your own work. Now, before you write an review, you should know the meaning of what a review is. You can divide the word into two components. That is the word, the prefix re, and the word, root word itself, view. Right. So view is something that you see or look. Right. Or you overlook. Right. So re, right? Re means to repeat something, to do something again. Right. So you have watched the film, you have read the short story, you have read the poem, or you have read the materials about the play, about the novel, novella, or the essay, whatever that is. Now you are going to review it in your minds, right? Repeat again and then view it in your mind, and you are going to give your own comments on it, right? And these comments you are going to give are a specific set of comments I am expecting from you, which we will see in the later part of this video in this slide itself. But just remember that review is just reviewing of the topic you have collected or read the materials of. All right. So that is what a review is. Now, the first and foremost thing about writing a review is that the objective, right? Now, at least in our own assignment, or the general objective of review writing is that review writing is a profession also, you should know. People take it up very seriously, and then many review writers you see around you. Now, a review writer has only a single objective. The objective is to inspire people, right? And not just inspire people, review writers have to or try to create interest in other people to go and watch the original work. That is most important, right? The inspire first through the review they have written, which is in your own words, right? But then you as a reviewer is writing about some other work, right? So you're writing about a poem which is 10 lines or 20 lines, right? Now you're writing a review about the poem which is your own article. Now after reading the review, a person should, person reading the review, your review, should feel that okay, if the review is so good, then I should also go read the original work. That is exactly what I mean when I say create interest through the review. So that should be your main objective. I request and even order all the students to keep this objective as the foremost objective. So, like I said, keep that as your main focus while you write your review. Next, second, I want you to do this as the second objective in writing a review. Rather than calling it an objective, this is a sub part of your the subtitle called review, right? So we are going to start with not the plot, right? So like I told you, do not write the story or the plot anywhere else after you write your introduction, right? So your review, the subtitle review, should contain first is what you have to understand the characters that appear in your literary work or the topic you have chosen, right? So your short stories will have characters, novel, novella, poem, play, films, and prose essays may or may not have characters, right? So other literary forms will definitely have characters. If you have understood the characters, maybe then you could write a little bit more about the characters, and then you could write something about it, right? So, and after writing about the characters, you should also be able to write about the author of that particular text, right? In the case of Beowulf, even if you have chosen the film Beowulf, it might be difficult for you to find the author, right? But that is just one exemption, right? Other people, that people have written a lot of work. For example, Oliver Twist, right? Oliver Twist is by Charles Dickens, right? So you have to also understand about the author, because it is the author who is writing this particular work. So you need to have an understanding about the author. Only after you understand the author, you start to write your review. So the materials you collect, that should also contain the materials about the author and the characters you find in the literary work, right? Now you can go for a second one, where the characters are actually created by the author. So you could also comment in a manner of how the author has created a particular character, right? Now this is the third most important thing and the final thing about writing the review, right? Which is the second part of your assignment, the subtitle review. I want you people to write your opinion on the novel or the short story or novel or essay or film you have chosen, right? So I know your review should definitely contain your opinion, right? Now this is the most important part of the review, right? Now the character and author, of course, you are going to imitate whatever is there in your material, collected material, in your own words, right? See, mark my words, I say in your own words. In any of the places in your review, if you copy straight away from the internet and pass it on to me as an assignment, I will give you straight 0. Even if there is one single line that has been copied straight away from the internet, I will give you a straight 0 for the assignment. Attendance for that particular assignment will not be given. You will be losing 2 weeks of assignment. 2 weeks of ABC attendance you will be losing. So kindly be careful about that. Do not copy lines directly from the internet. Instead, rephrase them in your own words, right? So this is an imitation. Writing after understanding the characters and the author is going to be an imitation, writing in your own words, but then the opinion will be 100% your own work, which is the most important part of the review writing itself, right? So I am expecting a lot from you, that I'm waiting to read your opinion about it. But then there is another side to it. The review may also contain your criticism, right? Now the criticism does not mean you should find fault with the topic you have chosen, right? Because we generally think that when you are critiquing something, you are finding fault with something. Criticism, for at least English literature students, does not mean that, right? So criticism necessarily need not mean that you have to find fault with the topic you have chosen. Instead, criticism means that you are judging it from your own experience. Now don't tell me that, sir, we are just 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old as literature students. No, right? Literature is reflective of our own life, right? So all of you are at least 17 years old, so you have 17 years of experience, and I want you to reflect these 17 years of experience while writing your review, right? So I'm not asking a story about your life, no, right? I'm asking you to use your own experience of living in this world for 17 years and provide your criticism. Once again, let me remind you that criticism does not mean that you should find fault with the topic you have chosen and then be mean about it. No, criticism instead means that you are judging it from your experience. Let us move on to the next slide. So in the last slide, as soon as I told you that you are going to judge it from your experience, you might have wondered, how do I do that, right? So in this slide, I'm going to talk to you about how you can how can you gain experience regarding your topic. So I at least have 3 points for you to note down. Now you need not note down, you can watch this video again and again, and then at your own time you could start contemplating about your own experience. Now the first point, you have to gather your opinion about the director, actor, if you have chosen film as your topic, right? That is how you gather your opinion, right? So gathering opinion about your topic is nothing but the directors of the movie, the actor of the movie, right? If you can, cinematography, editing techniques, if at all you understand it, you can also do about it. But this is regarding films, right? Now second point, gather your opinion about the author, character and theme, right? All stories will have a theme. If you have chosen a novel, short story, novella as your topic, so this is for students who have chosen novel, short story and novella as your topic, right? And also even poems, right? But then the third point is, gather your opinion about the author and content if you have chosen essay as your topic, So students who have chosen or chosen essay as your topic, the content is important and the author is more important, and you won't find a plot in it, right? See, the narrative of a prose essay is much more different than a short story. Now when you are going, if at all, if it's a 5-page essay, you would read it and then you would find out what I am talking here about. Alright, so that is how you could gain experience regarding your topic. Let us move on to the next slide. While you write a review, do not reveal the full story. Even in the introduction, please do not reveal the full story, right? Not just the full story, your story might have twists and turns and suspense if you have chosen a novel or a short story or a novella. Now, if you do that, it might reduce the interest of a person reading your review, right? So this is what we in a colloquial term we call it spoilers, right? So don't spoil it for your readers, meaning, like I said, review should inspire and create interest on your readers to go and read the original work. Now if your review is going to tell the whole story, people are already going to feel that, okay, I already know the story, why should I go watch the movie, right? Or go read the short story or go read the novella, poem, or whatever it is, right? So it happens even in our daily life. If somebody gives us the story of the film that we are waiting to watch, we will feel very angry with them. We'll say, hey, no, don't tell it to me, I want to go watch it for myself and then gather experience and then gather opinion. That is exactly the feeling you should have when you try to reveal the full story. You should not, right? No spoilers at all. Next, I would suggest that that sometimes it helps, right? It helps to read review of other professional writers. You could read other professional writers who have probably written on your chosen topic and try to find out how good it is, so that you could change your style of writing a little later. Now don't imagine that in the 2 weeks you are writing this assignment, you are going to gather and become great in review writing, but then this is the stepping stone, this is the first step of doing that. I wish you all the best. In fact, right, you could read the professional writers who have written about your own topic, and then you could take a style, and then even quote one or two quotations from their own review ratings to justify your own opinion or your own experience. You could do that. It always helps to read professional writers review and then gather some experience. You would at least understand how to go about writing a review, right, apart from this video. So we will look at the final part, which is the third part, the conclusion, right? In conclusion, I want you simply to not give up what has been written previously, but then it is your final judgment, right? It is the final judgment of your review, meaning your conclusion should be combination of adjectives you use for the topic you have chosen, right? So find out many adjectives, right? Which talk about the quality of the topic you have already chosen. So you could use it, and then your conclusion should not be more than 50 words. Now for writing a review, you could go to the Google Classroom and then find out what is the word limit I have actually given. But introduction is 75 words and conclusion is 50 words, 125 words. The rest could be your review. So that is all. It has to be there in conclusion. I do not want a conclusion which is very elaborate. It has to be very, very brief. Meaning the conclusion is something that kind of captures the whole idea of your review and then gives it in less than 50 words, only 50 words, not more than that, so that people try to get an idea, okay, right, this is the point the reviewer is trying to make, and that is exactly a conclusion, right? You cannot once again start what you have already said. It has to be rephrased like a pre-C writing, consolidated, and then explained very briefly in 50 words. Finally, this is very, very, very important. A review writing is not a writing which should be did only once. Write the review as an assignment and read it once again and then rewrite it, right? And then edit till you feel satisfied, right? So add, omit, right? things, and then rewrite a particular sentence. If you think grammar is a problem, rewrite, or if you think of a particular vocabulary is a problem, rewrite the vocabulary, right? Choose a different vocabulary, choose a different style, edit your paragraphs. So your review assignment should not be an effort of just whatever you have collected the materials, and then you are trying to put that into the paper. It should be an effort where you are undergoing a learning process, right? Take it from me that if you do this process as I have explained it to you, your language will especially grow, because the curiosity for trying to find out what's happening around you is going to be there through your opinions, right? It's going to be kind of an introspection, right? You even sometimes people might start feeling that how did I get this opinion, right? Nobody had taught me this, but then I have this wonderful opinion. When you rewrite it and reread it, you would understand that you are doing something good. So I wish you all the best. Watch the video again and again and again till you get the clarity, and clarifications are also welcome. Thank you for your attention. I will see you in yet another video. Thank you.